All right, so Saint Cyprian of Carthage was born somewhere around the year 200, 210 in that ballpark in Carthage, which is in northern Africa along the Mediterranean Sea. Today, I think it's in the area of Tunisia. He was the first bishop martyr of Africa. But let's back up and look at his childhood. His parents were a very wealthy, aristocratic type of family. He received a very strong education, particularly in terms of law. He actually practiced as a lawyer before he was converted to Christianity in the year 246. And he was only a Christian for 12 years before he was martyred, but he had a huge impact. Quite a legacy, left quite a legacy for the church in those 12 years. It was only about 2 to 3 years or so after his baptism that he was elected Bishop of Carthage. And then, within a matter of months, the don't know how to say, Decian persecution just fell upon the church in northern Africa, just dropped on his lap. And so he did what any sane person would do. He took off and hid, showing that he was not an idiot, right? But during that persecution, thousands of Christians did not take off and hide. And in fact, thousands of Christians succumbed to the persecution in the sense that in order to avoid torture, death, or economic sanction, those sorts of things, they betrayed their faith. They sacrificed to and worshipped pagan gods in order to avoid those fates. But not all Christians gave in. Some continued to confess Christ amidst persecution while being jailed, tortured. Many were executed. And these confessors, as they saw themselves as the true faithful, the true church. Now we just looked at Romans 1. And isn't faithfulness exactly what the gospel demands? The church can't bow down to torture, can it? I mean, these are the questions that we're looking at in this course as we look at Kavanaugh's book, Torture in Eucharist, right? And this week, and next week too, I think, we're going to be looking at a number of contemporary theologians who are writing on what it means to be the true church. We'll look at that in Karl Barth's Church Dogmatics, section 4.2, at least our graduate students will this week. What does it mean to be the true church? So for generations after his time, the church leaders looked back at Cyprian as giving the definitive answer to that question. Now for a time after, there was a time when that persecution waned, when it let up, when Christians came back out of hiding, including the Bishop Cyprian. They came back out of hiding. But only for a time. And that persecution was then renewed. The second time, Cyprian refused to hide. And so this time, he faced his death, walked towards it, and was martyred on September 14th, 258.